Hello grandpas and nerds around the world, welcome to my battle camp, the perfect place for any strategy enthusiasts to search for validation in their hobbies. We're diving into 15 strategy and tactical RPGs that hit all the right notes, no weak picks, no wasted turns. From brutal battlefield brawls to high-stakes fantasy showdowns, these games reward clever minds over fast clicks. I hope all of you can make this video as a good reference on what games to buy right now, and if things are great, I'll continue this series in the future. Are you ready? Let's go, Commander! Tactics Ogre Reborn is a remastered turn-based tactical RPG, originally from 1995, revived via its 2010 PSP remake, and now polished for modern platforms. While the visual updates are modest, this classic still holds strong, offering deeply strategic combat and an engrossing story. You'll command units across grid-based battlefields, adjusting for terrain, weather, and randomized stat boosts, all while managing a large, diverse roster of classes. In this edition, the game provides a fully reorchestrated soundtrack, dual-language voiceovers, and the unique tarot system, letting you rewind time and explore branching storylines. Tactics Ogre Reborn is a true gem brought back from handheld obscurity, and it's finally playable on PC and consoles. Wildermyth is a turn-based RPG that blends tactical combat with comic book-style storytelling, where your heroes grow through procedurally generated, yet deeply personal adventures. At first glance, it looked like a quirky indie title, but a few hours in, it became one of my favorite RPG experiences in years. You'll guide a band of customizable heroes across grid-based battles, choose narrative paths, and explore an overworld that evolves with your decisions. Its charm lies in dynamic storytelling, strategic yet accessible combat, and a striking storybook art style. Even with a few bugs, it's a deeply rewarding journey full of character, heart, and clever design. If you love RPGs or just want something different, Wildermyth is worth every moment. The March of the Black Queen is a real-time tactical RPG first released in 1993, blending strategy and RPG elements in ways that were ahead of its time. Even decades later, it still stands out. Despite outdated UI and long load times, it's a foundational title that helped inspire classics like Final Fantasy Tactics and Unicorn Overlord. You'll manage squads across a vast campaign, making key decisions and optimizing unit formations to gain the upper hand. With multiple endings, a tarot-based alignment system, and deep strategic layers, the replay value is massive. Its mix of real-time deployment and RPG depth was rare back then, and still feels unique even today. For fans of retro tactics games, Ogre Battle remains a cult gem worth rediscovering. Symphony of War: The Nephilim Saga is a pixel art strategy JRPG that reinvents the genre by letting you command entire customizable squads instead of just individual units. While the story might be cliché, the gameplay is anything but. Managing formations, resources, and class evolution across dozens of missions makes every choice feel impactful. Its squad-based system adds a refreshing twist compared to games like Fire Emblem, with battles blending auto-battle mechanics and deep tactical layers. The art is charming, the combat satisfying, and the replayability is sky-high thanks to rich customization and a solid progression system. For fans of tactical RPGs, this game is a sleeper hit that deserves far more attention. Troubleshooter: Abandoned Children is a tactical RPG with deep turn-based combat and layered character development, set in a futuristic city where mercenaries keep order. It might not be well known, but this game is a hidden gem for fans of complex systems. Think of it as a blend between XCOM and anime-style storytelling, with over-the-top abilities and a cast of likable characters. Each mission feels like a puzzle with detailed environments, smart enemy AI, and dozens of status effects and synergy options to master. The sheer depth of progression, from skill trees to mastery setups, is addicting. It's built by a small Korean studio, yet rivals AAA tactical games in ambition. If you love strategy with heart and challenge, this game delivers. Wasteland 3 is a story-rich turn-based tactical RPG set in a frozen post-apocalyptic Colorado. You command a squad of desert rangers trying to bring order to a chaotic world filled with cults, cannibals, and corrupted factions. What sets this game apart is its branching narrative and consequence-heavy decisions. Choices truly matter, shaping who lives, dies, or turns against you. Combat is tactical and flexible, letting you build unique squads with varied weapons, skills, and perks. The writing is sharp, darkly humorous, and often brutally honest. Every mission feels impactful, and the world reacts to your actions. If you enjoy deep RPGs with strong tactical layers and meaningful player choice, Wasteland 3 is absolutely worth diving into. Fire Emblem Three Houses is a tactical RPG that combines layered strategy with character-driven storytelling. At the heart of the game is Garreg Mach Monastery, where you guide one of 3 student houses, each leading to distinct story arcs filled with tough decisions and emotional depth. Battles unfold on grid-based maps, offering creative freedom through battalions, class progression, and powerful skills. Outside skirmishes, you'll manage training, build relationships, and influence your students' paths. Choices carry real consequences, shaping the world and the fate of your allies. With multiple storylines and dozens of hours of content, it offers incredible replay value. This is one of the most ambitious entries in the series, perfect for fans of thoughtful tactics and branching narratives. Divinity Original Sin 2 is a richly layered turn-based RPG where freedom drives the experience. You command a party of up to 4, each with their own backstory, exploring a reactive world filled with mystery, danger, and moral dilemmas. From solving problems through persuasion or stealth to igniting the battlefield with devastating spell combos, the game constantly responds to how you play. You can talk to animals, betray allies, or turn enemies into allies. Nothing is locked in. Character customization runs deep, and with drop-in co-op, it's just as fun with friends as it is solo. With branching paths, meaningful interactions, and smart combat, it's a modern RPG classic that rewards creativity at every turn.
I thought Voidbreaker was supposed to be scary.
Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader drops you into the lawless edge of the Imperium, where you're given the authority to explore, negotiate, or destroy as you see fit. As a rogue trader, you command a powerful ship, a loyal and dangerous crew, and a license to act outside the usual rules. The world is bleak, full of twisted cults, Xenos threats, and impossible choices that test your judgment. Combat isn't flashy, it's deliberate and brutal, where poor positioning or careless moves get people killed. Conversations can be just as risky, often forcing you to choose between ideology, loyalty, or survival. The game is heavy, slow-burning, and deeply faithful to the grim, layered tone of the Warhammer universe.
Nothing I can't do.
Unicorn Overlord is a tactical fantasy RPG that blends large-scale battles with detailed unit management. You play as Alain, a prince on the run that's slowly building an army to reclaim his kingdom. It's not turn-based in the usual sense. Combat plays out in real time, but with strategic pauses and layered planning. You organize squads, position them on the battlefield, and let the formation and class synergy do the heavy lifting. Outside of combat, there's a full overworld to explore, villages to liberate, and allies to recruit, each with their own stories and traits. It feels like a classic tactical game with a modern coat of polish, perfect for fans of Ogre Battle, Fire Emblem, or old-school SRPGs. XCOM 2 puts you in charge of a resistance movement after Earth has already fallen to alien rule. You're not leading an army, you're barely holding things together, striking from the shadows and hoping to survive long enough to turn the tide. The missions are tense and unforgiving, built around tight turn-based firefights, where positioning, timing, and sheer luck decide everything. Off the battlefield, you're managing a scavenged base, pushing research, building weapons, and making tough choices about where to act next. You're always behind, always under pressure, and that's exactly what makes it thrilling. XCOM 2 doesn't just challenge your tactics, it tests your resilience. Few strategy games hit this hard or leave behind stories you'll actually want to tell. Battle Brothers drops you into a grim, low-fantasy world where survival is everything. You run a mercenary company, hiring desperate men, managing contracts, and trying to keep everyone alive one more day. The combat is tactical and brutal. Turn-based fights where terrain, gear, and morale can shift everything. Soldiers lose limbs, miss strikes, and die permanently, often leaving behind more debts than glory. Outside of combat, you're traveling across a living map, balancing food, pay, and reputation, while choosing which battles are worth the risk. There's no magic to save you here, just grit, steel, and good decisions. It's a harsh game, but that's the point. When your ragtag crew survives, it feels earned. When they don't, it stings. Heroes of Might and Magic 3 is the kind of game that defined a generation of strategy fans. A turn-based fantasy tactics game at heart, it blends exploration, town building, and intense tactical battles in a way that still holds up decades later. You move heroes across a sprawling map, gather resources, recruit mythical units, and siege enemy castles in tense turn-based combat. Each faction brings its own identity, strengths, and playstyle, giving every run a different rhythm. Every map tells a story, and every decision on the world map has long-term weight. It's not just a classic, it's a game people still play, mod, and debate about today. Heroes of Might and Magic 3 didn't just get it right. It became the gold standard for what a fantasy strategy game could be. The War of the Lines is a definitive remake of Final Fantasy Tactics, bringing its rich tactical gameplay and political drama to the PSP with major improvements. Set in the war-torn kingdom of Ivalice, the story follows Ramza and Delita through a dark tale of betrayal, class struggle, and shifting loyalties. This version features a sharp new translation, gorgeous cel-shaded cutscenes with voice acting, and 2 new job classes, Onion Knight and Dark Knight. The expanded multiplayer lets you battle or cooperate with friends to earn rare items. While it still suffers from occasional slowdowns and audio sync issues, War of the Lions remains one of the best strategy RPGs ever made, smarter, deeper, and more engaging than ever. Baldur's Gate 3 is the closest a single-player RPG has come to capturing the freedom and chaos of a real Dungeons & Dragons session. Built on 5th edition rules, it lets you improvise, push enemies off ledges, climb rooftops, or skip entire fights with clever tricks. The game rewards creativity, not just combat skills. Every class feels useful, even for exploration, and the turn-based system gives room to think, plan, or panic. The opening hours are packed with action, but it still leaves space for role-playing and quiet choices. Whether you're throwing goblins or charming devils, it constantly asks, what would you do? And unlike most RPGs, Baldur's Gate 3 usually lets you try it.